Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel for DestinyUO. Today I'm going to be doing a short tutorial of what you do after you've installed the game. Choosing an account name and password, creating a character, and getting into the actual realm of Britannia. Shortly here, we will be adding more and more videos to this channel of different things that you can do in game. More video tutorials, just different things showcasing the game a little bit and helping you on your way to getting started playing the game. I'm going to have the characters that I use in game to do these videos. They're going to be named DestinyUO videos. So when you see these characters out and about doing things and everything like that, you can always walk up and talk to them and maybe be on some of the videos in there and everything like that. Or even help make some of the videos. You would just have to let us know that you'd like to do that. Now, getting started, when you choose an account name and password, you have to choose a unique account name. If you type in an account name and you type in a password and it brings up this message, it means that somebody has already chosen that account name. It says that your account credentials are invalid. Check your user ID and password and try again. Now, once you've created a name and password and it is not one that has been chosen before as far as the name is concerned, you will log in and get to this screen. Now, I would like to point out is it's very important that when you create an account, you remember the name and password. Staff will have to help you recover an account that you've lost the password to, and it's not exactly the easiest thing ever to prove that you are the person that created an account. On any individual given computer, you only have a set amount of accounts that you can make. That is 2. Once you've made 2 accounts, you can no longer make any accounts, and if you've forgotten both passwords of both accounts you've made, you will not be able to log into the game. You'll have to go to the forums, technical support, ask for help, and it's going to be an uphill battle for you to, figure out what you're doing and really get into the game and play it. So just be careful about what names and passwords you choose, and be careful about remembering them if you have to write them down or whatever works best for you. Moving on, this is just the name of the server. If we had like a test server or something along those lines up along with it, there might be 2 entries, but generally there will only ever be 1 entry, and that's the live server. That's what you play on. And you either can double click on the name or click the next arrow to go to the next part. Brief little introduction to this part is pretty simple. You can set your hairstyle. Facial hairstyle you can only set or use as a male character. Obviously, as a female, those options go away. Gargoyle and Elf are not available in this time period of UO. We are in a UOR custom rule set, which basically means the rules are loosely based around UOR, and we have a few custom things kind of lumped in with it. So it's not going to be like if you played UOR on OSI in, the early 2000s. It's not going to be exactly like OSI was, but it's loosely based around that, and we tend to try to stay as true to that form as possible while still keeping the game something fresh and new to keep you interested in it. Going back to this, you can change your hairstyle, your hair color, your facial hairstyle, your facial hair color, your shirt color, pants color, skin tone, all those things you can change. The shirt color and pants color don't really matter. You can get new clothing in-game very easily. It's really inconsequential. The skin tone, the hair color, the facial hair color, the facial hairstyle, and the hairstyle cost money to change in-game. They're a little harder to manipulate, so you may want to take some time to figure that out and really make the character exactly how you want it. I'm going to name the guy DestinyUO Video throughout all of these video tutorials and I guess video presentations of the game, how we have it. I will be using the same named characters, so when you're in-game and you see me around, you'll know that it is me, and then I'm more than likely recording video of it. For the purposes of today's video, I'm not really going to manipulate him too much. I'll give him some non-grandma, grandpa type hair. Maybe a little Van Dyke beard. Let's go short beard. How's that? A little Abraham Lincoln going on. Let's go to the next part. Alright, click the next arrow, and you're going to be choosing your starting skills for your character. Samurai, Ninja, Paladin, and Necromancer all belong to the same school of thought as the Elves and also the Gargoyles. You can't use those. They are for use in later versions of UO than UOR, and they're just not offered here. As far as what you can make, you can click the Warrior button, the Mage button, or the Blacksmith button. The thing about clicking those buttons is it's a generalized skill set. It's kind of set in stone, and it's a quick way to really hurry up and get in the game. I myself recommend using the advanced option here. And I know the word advanced can kind of scare you away and make you think, oh, I don't know much about this game. Probably shouldn't do that, but I'm going to explain it to you really quickly so that way you can make the character exactly how you want it. Now, as you can see here, these are the stats: strength, dexterity, and intelligence. I'm playing with the sliders a little bit here, this and that. Stat cap is 225. That means all of the stats that you have combined can be 225. Your strength, your dexterity, and your intelligence all added together. That means you could potentially have 100 in a skill, 100 in a stat, 100 in another stat, and 25 in another. Alternatively, if you have a character that does more than one thing, you're going to want to diversify your stats a little bit, and you may have to have a decent amount in all three, or varying amounts in one or the other to match that character template. There may be a tutorial video where actual character creation, as far as choosing the type and traits of your character and getting in depth with using kind of like a multiple skill template, comes into question. As for this one, this is going to be a real generalized deal, and I'm going to make a simplistic warrior, which is one of the simplest things you can make and also use. For a warrior doesn't do any majory things at all. It doesn't need mana, it doesn't need any of that, so it doesn't need intelligence, because intelligence is directly for majory type things. For your mana, intelligence, the higher it is, the more mana you get, different things like that. So we're not going to need that. Strength and dexterity is what you need for a dexter. Dexterity also has to do with, how fast you, well, not how fast you walk, but if you get overweight, the higher your dexterity is, the more stamina you have. The more stamina you have, the longer you can walk while you're overweight, among other things. I'm going to move on to skills now. As far as skills are concerned, you get a 7x character. That means you have 700 skill points, and any skill you want can be at a maximum of 100 points. That basically means that you could have 7 skills at 100, you could have 14 skills at 50, etc., etc. The problem being with 14 skills at 50 skill points is that you can halfway do those skills. If you were talking about a skill such as Majory or something like that, you could only use about half of the spells because the other spells are too complicated for you to understand with your mediocre skill level. So this is why generally you want things to be up around 100. For the purposes of this character, we're going to make a warrior template. For this warrior template, we are going to have a varied assortment of skills, but starting off, I'm going to give him resisting spells. You can start out with up to 50 skill points on 2 skills. As you can see, 50 and 50 and 0. Or you could start out with about 30 or so on 3 different skills. I'm going to choose to take 2 skills already at 50, and then you start with around 500 gold, and you can use that to buy skills from the NPCs. You'll learn about that a little bit later. The reason why I chose resisting spells, though, is because it is a skill that you have to learn with a lot of supplies. It becomes an expensive skill to learn. So the more you have of it for free, the better it is. So I went ahead and chose that. I'm also going to choose healing. Choosing resisting spells and healing, such as how I am doing, is going to, that's hurting, is going to give you a little bit of a step up in the game. As soon as you get in the game, you can go get an axe, buy you some swordsmanship skill, and go at it with your warrior. Your warrior does not have to use axes. Your warrior can use bow and arrow. Your warrior can use, fencing weapons like spears, for instance. I mean, whatever, macing weapons, whatever weapon skill you want to use. For this specific template, I am going to do a swordsman. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to choose swordsmanship as my 3rd skill and try to see if we can't get a newbied weapon. What newbied is, newbied means your character started with that item. Well, not just simply that, but usually items that are newbied were made on a new character, hence the term newbied. Basically, it means that if you are blue or a good character, if you die, it will remain in your pack. You will resurrect and it'll still be there. If you are red and you have newbie items on you, they fall in your corpse on the ground, and other people can take them out of your corpse, or if your corpse decayed, your items are gone. Blessed, if something is blessed, such as your spellbook are blessed, it is not going anywhere. If you die, it is not going to go anywhere, whether you're red, blue, or what have you. Once you've done this in the manner that I have done it, and by the way, when I did the skills, I think you've probably seen me playing with it, but if you play with it just a little bit, it's much easier just to play with the intelligence bar to get the other two up. And then you move on here. Now we selected all our skills and stats, and like I said, we'll go into further templates and all of that yada yada in a more in-depth video. We're going to move on from this. It says Britain, the city of bards. Britain is the city that you start in. It's just letting you know where you're going, everything else. You can read this little, it's kind of like an introduction for Britain. I'm not going to take the time to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part of this video. Going into game. Takes you just a minute, and then you're logged into the game. Some clients have this sort of invalid spellbook when you log in. You can just right click on it to get rid of it and move on about your day. If you open a valid spellbook, it'll look something more like this instead of saying invalid. That being said, we are going to show you a couple more things. Now that you're in game, I'm going to show you 3 things. You've created a character. He has a skill set. Now what you can do is walk onto these little informational tiles just like this outside of every building that has NPC, non-player character vendors in it, and it gives you a little story about what they do, what they sell, how you can interact with them a little bit. I'm going to show you real quick. You start with 500 gold, just like that. You can actually walk up to a vendor such as this one, and you left click on his body, on his person, anywhere, and you have several options. You can sell him items, you can buy items from him, and you can also train skills. NPCs will only have skills specific to their purpose on them. No one NPC really has all of the skills in the game available to be trained off of him. When you're looking to train skills, you generally want to find a grandmaster of that skill. So if you were trying to, say, learn magery, you would find so-and-so the grandmaster or the mage guild master. I'm going to, like I said, click on it. I'm going to train tactics. Tactics and anatomy plus your weapon skill is what you need as a warrior. It says, I will teach thee all I know if pay the amount in full. The price is 500. Well, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to type in 450 into this box, and all I did was I'll do it all over again. I left clicked on the pile of gold and drug it, and it came out. And then I deleted the numbers out of there by pressing backspace, and I typed 450, and I pressed OK. Now I've got 450 in my cursor. I can walk up and you drop it. Just how you clicked on the guy, you drop it on the guy. And now as you can see right here, I learned 45 points in tactics. In hindsight, I probably should have bought swordsmanship, because then I could have went and made gold to also pay for tactics. But that is neither here nor there. Now we're going to go around here, down, oh, I went the wrong way, down and around and over and up here. Not too far from where you start at is going to be a shop where you can buy a weapon at. Right here. I'm going to go in here. Here's a weaponsmith. Oh, there he is. We're going to buy from him. I'm going to buy a couple of hatchets. We'll buy the 31 gold piece hatchet. Yes. We'll buy one of them. How about that? Now we got ourselves a hatchet. Now I can equip it by clicking on paper doll, clicking on the hatchet, and dragging it to my person. Dropping it right over the person on the paper doll, and he's got it equipped. I will make a tutorial video for combat and how to pretty much use your character after this one. I will simply be showing you around Britain a little bit more. As you can see, when I pass by these buildings, there's more info tiles. Each one will let you learn a little bit about each building. This is the message of the day. Anything informational that you need to know that we need to tell you, we will put in there, along with probably links to the forums for further discussion. keep an eye out for that type of thing, and you can keep updated about the goings on in the server. I'm running to Brit Bank right now, Britain West Bank to be specific. This is the inn right here, and this is the bank. They're not too far from one another. Britain Bank tends to be the hub of activity, and you'll find other players here, other people. People will tend to help you out here, and you can ask for pretty much help with anything from any player, and eventually you'll find one that'll probably help you out. These over here are all kinds of neat things to get you started in the beta test server. When the server goes live, none of this will be in existence. You won't get pretty much any of this stuff for free, and you'll have to work for what you have. But for right now, you can use this stuff to test out the server and really see how much you like it. That pretty much ends up the tutorial about how to make a character and how to get in game. I am, by the way, little tip, I am using the right left click button and pointing the mouse where I want to go. I just hold down on right click and he moves around. I will be seeing you when I make another video. Make sure you check out www.DestinyUO.com, and somewhere around the end of November the server will be going live, so come and join us for all kinds of fun events then. And as always, if you need anything or have any questions, send us a message on the forums or log into the game and use the help button at the top and you can send us messages. Have a nice day and thanks.